Welcome to the podcast. This week it's Masters Week, so we are going through
Exciting.
uh, the most recent events in the golf world with the Augusta Women's Amateur, our Masters preview. Following that, we will have our own Masters dinner if we were lucky enough to win, which as of right now, none of us, and
Never gonna,
it's
never
never
gonna
going to
happen for me
happen.
at least. That's for sure.
Then we're going to talk about our playing goals. For me, being like the scratch golfer in the group, what my tournament goals are and stuff like that, and just trying to improve. Following that, we got the our opinions on the rollback from the USGA and RNA. Then we have our own little kind of betting type thing with the
Hmm.
PGA Tour picks, some Masters trivia, and just some other questions to get everyone
Oh,
acquainted with us.
perfect. Well, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Working hard.
I'm
The
pumped.
golf course
Masters
opens.
week.
Golf course opens tomorrow. Master starts tomorrow. Gonna be
Yeah.
streaming it on the course, so it's gonna be a fun day
Big,
tomorrow.
big weekend for golf.
Oh, massive weekend. Today was like 75.
I know. It's so nice.
Oh, the only thing is the rain, but it's
Happens.
cart path only.
Happens.
It's not
April
the end of the world.
showers. All right.
Okay.
The women's amateur.
Yes, the women's
Oh,
amateur. So there was one Canadian in the field. I don't know if you noticed that. She
all right.
played. She plays at the University of Michigan. She
Mhm.
had a first round total of 73, which was +1 at Champions Retreat, and then a second round 69, 3 under to make the cut at 2 under. Um,
Good for her.
yeah, she's probably one of the best amateurs in Canada for both the men's and women's side. She won the Canadian Amateur last year, and she was runner up at the U.S. Amateur.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I was following her closely.
Yeah.
She was in contention, being at -2 going into the round three at Augusta National.
Yeah.
Unfortunate enough that she shot a 77, which was one shot worse than Rose, who ended up winning the tournament.
Hmm.
So she finished the tournament with a +3 final. I mean,
Not bad.
to to be in her position to play at Augusta National is
Oh,
definitely nothing
I
to.
step on the the first tee at Augusta National, and I'm shanking one. Like the pressure that you'd have to stand on, even just stand on that tee and hit a golf ball, unbelievable.
Oh yeah, 100%. I could 100% say that if I was ever to play at Augusta, I would need like the most illegal driver possible so I could just find the club face.
Yeah, some big,
So,
huge, just tin
something
can.
massive. Like I can't remember who it was. I think it was Cam Smith. He was talking about his first round at Augusta and down 10 is normally a 3 wood for everyone. But he looked at his caddy and said, "Hand me the driver," because he just needed the biggest face possible to hit the golf ball.
Just needed to hit something. Needed to
Yeah.
hit the golf ball.
So,
Wow,
like, I mean, it's a heavenly experience on earth for any
wow.
golfer.
My one of my friends is actually there today.
My
He's walking the course right now.
my swing coach was there yesterday.
Wow.
He's actually doing a giveaway on his Instagram that I have reposted on my story about for a Masters
Oh
hat.
yeah.
Yeah, it's also
Oh shit. I'm in.
he's free online lesson too, and he's giving a big Masters giveaway away.
Huge giveaway.
Yeah,
Huge.
and
But yeah, Rose has a record or held the record for the most consecutive weeks. I'm just seeing this now at World Women's Amateur Golf Rank number 1.
oh,
She
she's unreal. She
unreal.
she won
She
the
had
individual
5 wins in her
NCAA
first
last
six
year.
starts. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like she's more dominant in the girls' side of amateur golf than like Scotty was last year. Um,
Wow.
like NCAA team champs, NCAA individual champs, um, countless other amateur events. I think she played in 4 or 5 LPGA events last year.
Look at this. So between, you're kidding me. She's won. I'm just looking. I just pulled up her stats, her events. So going down the list, these are her finishing positions: first, 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 12th, first, first.
Yeah, like
That it was like in most recent events.
that is like mimicking Tiger back in the day.
That's unreal.
It's she like the fact that she gave herself a big enough lead from shooting 66, which was the tournament low for the Augusta
Yep.
Women's Amateur, and then following it up with a 65 to break her own record. She was at minus 13 going into the final round. So she had, it was like, I think it was 6 shots to play with between her and second. And
Mm-hmm.
then
And then
Jenny Bay decides to shoot a final round 2 under, which was the best round or best finish for any player on round 3 at Augusta to tie her at what is it, -9, because
yeah,
Rose
minus
shot
nine,
four
4 over on the
overs
day.
76, which
Yes,
again 4 over at Augusta National is impressive. I just played it on the
impressive in itself.
new EA Sports video game, and I shot a
Yeah,
solid 15 over par.
and then to have the mental fortitude to shoot a 4 over and go into a playoff against someone who just shot a 2 under and then still beat them
Oh yeah,
is like,
and like I'm not gonna give or I'm not gonna take any credit away from Rose or Jenny on the day. Jenny hit a bad shot. Like mistakes
yeah,
happen. So it was also I would say the more mental side of for Rose holding it together when she knew she kind of had 2 shots to play with. Because
yeah,
there's a lot of
oh yeah,
times where if you're playing match play with your buddy, you end up, you know, he hits one in the trees, you take one off, you take a swing off light, and then you chunk it, you hit it thin, you make a mistake yourself. So
yeah,
be able to focus in after someone else like open the door for you was is another aspect of the game that not many
yeah. She
people
just
get to experience, and
and then at
especially
Augusta, like
oh
just
yeah at
it's
Augusta,
so impressive.
but even on top of that, they were saying on the broadcast was even on like the amateur scene, there's not many playoffs. So even if they tie, like they both tied at 900 par, normally it would be aggregate score. So it would be if someone made birdie on 18, well, that's the one who won. So
Mm-hmm.
there's that aspect where there's not normally playoffs. And to
Yeah,
go from being in stroke play to practically match play in the span of 5 minutes is like a
yeah,
real mental mind fuck.
crazy, and in like a competitive situation that you're not entirely used to going into a playoff.
Yeah. Like usually going into the playoff, you're coming from the match play or you're coming from stroke play into match play. And
Yeah,
like for me personally, I approach match play differently than I approach stroke play
it's
because
completely different strategic. You're not trying to score low. You're just trying to beat the other person.
yeah, exactly. So um, when you get in a tough situation and you're like in the trees and it's match play, you don't have anything to lose by trying to be a hero.
Going for it. Yeah.
Whereas when you play stroke play, you're trying to keep a round together. You'll chip out, you'll make bogey, and you'll move on.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, speaking of moving on, Masters preview hole. The thing I'm most excited about is the change on hole 13.
Yes. Did you hear what Scotty said about the changes?
I didn't know.
So he said basically the difference between last year's hole 13, right? 13 we're talking about,
Yep.
and this year is because it's the dog leg left par 5.
Yes.
Where his driver is finishing now is where his 3-wood was finishing last year.
Wow. Yeah.
So instead of it being like 3-wood and then like to get to the corner, it's driver to get to the corner. So there's going to
Hmm.
be players who don't hit it as far as him and will be kind of blocked out by the trees there.
Yeah.
So it's going to
And
make it a
that's just you go.
it's going to make it a 3-shot hole for those players who are not as long as your Scotty Schefflers, your Rorys. So that's going to
Hmm.
be a pivotal factor when it comes down to Sunday when we have someone who's can bomb the ball versus someone who's more accurate.
Yeah. Which and then that kind of leads into which I don't want to get to quite yet because there's more stuff we got to talk about for the Masters, but the whole rollback situation in like are players hitting it too long and is it actually affecting the game or is it just how sports are progressing?
Yeah,
Because
like we'll get to more of that afterwards
mhm.
because I have
the
some opinions on that.
the chairman Ridley said I think this was I saw this on Golf Digest, some one of their articles. He said the fact that players are hitting middle to short irons into that hole is not really how it was designed, which kind of like that's almost a argument on the side of the rollback that golf courses no longer being played how they're designed. But I think it's I don't know. We'll talk about it later. But I'm just excited to see how that changes the scoring of that hole and that whole amen corner, and yeah, it'll be cool. And so,
Yeah, and the other thing with that hole you got to put into mind is the elevation there. The elevation there is insane. Like I haven't
mhm,
been able to see it. There's been lucky few people that we know have been able to see it, but the elevation what makes it different because you'll have a side hill lie. There's no flat lies there at
mhm,
Augusta. So even if you're hitting a like shorter iron into a green on a par 5, that doesn't mean you're going to like end up being on the green. Look at Scotty last year where he pushed it out right away from the water. He made up
yeah,
and down for birdie. So like there's
mhm,
the course is set up where you can make mistakes and benefit from them too because it's not
mhm,
just we're going to punish you. You need to know where you can miss and what you can miss. Again, if you're looking at the par 3 before that or just after, can't remember off the top of my head.
before
Before, if
hole
you're
12.
yeah, if you're on the right side of that green and you're short, you're in the water.
Yeah,
So
easy. I just watched a video on that about how that hole favors the left-handed players because their pull going long benefits them better than a right-handed player's pull going long, and their weak fade also benefits them because they're still almost hitting the green. And if a player who gets like ambitious and tries to hit a fade into that hole, if they don't hit it perfectly, it's going in the water because it's you miss that a couple yards short, it's rolling down that hill. And unless you get lucky like Fred Couples when he won and it's got stuck on that bank, you're going to be in the water and you're going to have a really tough time making a good score on that hole.
yes, exactly. And I'm guessing I watched the same video as you did.
Mm-hmm.
Morikawa on his yardage book has a line in the middle of the green,
No,
and
yeah,
just
yeah,
no. Like, I
yeah.
have some yardage books that just has like greens and places off the tee where it's like crossed out and just says death. So
Yeah.
I know that whole strategy type side, and that's why I would feel I'd play pretty good at Augusta because I'm left-handed, so I can kind of
Oh yeah,
attack
yeah,
that green. Because with my block push, it's gonna be fine.
yeah. Most like a good miss will be fine there.
Yeah.
So and we got Tiger Woods back. Tiger Woods is playing this weekend, which is unbelievable.
Does he have any magic left?
Oh, that's such a hard question. I want him to have magic left so bad. I would give anything to see him win, but I don't think his body can handle it. I think he can hit the shots. I don't think he can walk the. I think it's just his body is get too tired by the 72nd hole. He can't close.
Yeah, I
As much as I
find
really, really want him to.
I find that Tiger, he'll be able to make the cut. He'll be able
Yeah.
to have like a kind of an outside chance on Sunday. I
Hmm.
just feel that once you get into round 3 and 4, he's going to struggle.
He's too tired. It's a lot of elevation there. He doesn't have it in the legs. Um, as I would, and I'm not saying this isn't me saying I don't want him to do it. I want him to do it more than anything. I just want to be realistic and not get my hopes up. And I
Yeah.
really hope that he can prove me wrong. I really, really want him to prove me wrong.
Like, where did he place at the Genesis?
I don't know. He didn't do bad, I don't think. He was, I think he was like maybe outside contention if I can remember correctly.
I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah. No, I think, I think he's got it. He's got the shots. He's got the mental like mental strength. But I don't know if his legs can carry him 72 holes anymore. Of 72 holes of good golf.
He
I don't
was
know why I'm
plus
blanking
two,
on that.
tied for 45th. There we go.
Okay.
So like
Yes, Ron did win.
he was still around. Like he was still around on Sunday. He just, like I said, like I feel like he's going to
He just,
struggle in those last few rounds.
yeah. I'm gonna see if I can find all his round scores. Round one, shot a 69, 200. Round two, three over. Round three, round three, he comes out, he shoots four under.
Yeah,
So if he then he shot two over on Sunday. So let's say he doesn't shoot that three over, he shoots even. He's he's now then what was he? What did he finish? One under.
yeah,
So then he's now four under, and he's T T29 almost inside the top 20. Like if he could string a couple good rounds together, he could get into the top 20. He could be in contention. I know it. Ron ran away with that one to the 17 under, but yeah, he's got it in him. I think he's got it in him, but I don't think he's got it in him at the same time. It's a tough question.
yeah. It'll it will definitely be interesting to see because he has had tournament experience this year.
Yeah.
Last year around, his first tournament experience was the Masters.
Hmm.
So I would say best case scenario, he comes out better, stronger, more
Yeah.
prepared. Worst case scenario, we get him at the PGA on from the PGA Championship last year.
Yeah. I'm just looking. So I'm looking at his stats. I know everyone harps on his stats, but like this stuff, I'm just gonna read 372 events played. He's made 337 cuts out of 372 events played. 82 PGA Tour wins. Runner up 31 times, 199 times in the top 10. $120 million, almost $121 million won. Like,
That man's a billionaire.
it's crazy. He won 8 times in 1999, 9 times in 2000.
His
Like,
first
this,
missed cut in a major tournament, I believe, was last year at the PGA.
yeah,
Like,
there was,
there's a different breed. Like I said, it's the same thing as when we were talking about Rose earlier. Is she's a different breed? He's a different breed. It's
yeah,
just that.
someone said between, was it 96 or 99? I can't remember which number it was. Between 96 and 2009, he had more major wins than missed cuts.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know, that's silly.
like he was a lock for seeing him on Sunday.
Yeah, like I'll see you in the top whatever. He
Yeah,
finished in the top 10 199 times out of 372.
yeah. Last year I had one top 10.
That's he was in the top 10 53% of the time. He was more often in the top 10 than not.
Yeah, it, his
That's
like winning percentage for his career is like 22% or something.
yeah. And the next closest is 12, I think. Rob.
No, Nicholas is 12. Rom is 10 point
Oh,
something,
yeah.
and Rory's just under with like 10 point something else.
That's crazy.
I saw that on TikTok earlier today. Um,
That's crazy.
next question I have: Does Jordan Spieth win another major?
Yep. I think he's winning this weekend.
Yes, he he hasn't lost a tournament in his last two starts that finished on Easter Sunday.
Yes, that's almost exactly why I took him. If you want to jump into the picks section, we can jump into that right now, and I'll give you all my picks.
Oh, I still got some more
Okay,
more stuff.
okay. We'll
We'll
save
say
the in depth Jordan Spieth conversation for later. Jordan Spieth's my guy. I've been a huge fan of him ever since he yelled at his caddy to go get his ball. Yeah, he's Jordan Spieth's my guy. I think he can do it this weekend.
yeah, I think he can do it this weekend. Obviously, I like his best friend a lot better than I do him. So,
Oh,
um,
okay. I really really like Thomas, but I think I just like I don't know. I've been a fan of him for years.
yeah, I mean, there's members at Kingsville that calls me TJ because I'm backwards Justin Thomas because
That's
I'm
funny. You do
left-handed.
kind of look like Justin Thomas.
That's what I get. Um, so that's another reason why I like him. And my
Yeah,
Scotty Cameron is a uh, future X5, which is what he's got in the bag.
yeah.
Except his is a Circle T, and I would kill to have a Circle T right now. Does Rom take number one in the world back?
I don't know what's this specifically this weekend.
Yeah, specifically this weekend.
I don't know. I got to do a quick Google search. I don't know what in six Masters. Rom has made the cut each time, made the top 10 four times, and top five twice. I think I don't think he's gonna outplay Scheffler.
Yes.
I think
I
Scheffler's gonna have a better tournament than him. I think it's gonna be cool to watch having that like almost underlying battle for first. Um, but no, I don't think he takes retakes world number one.
yeah, and this comes into the next point. Does Scotty go back to back?
I really really like. I actually took him. I watched a YouTube video. Foreplay put out a video of him, and I watched it, and I just went on my app and I threw $5 on Scotty to win this weekend because I don't know something about that guy. He's just so calm and collected, and he just like something about him just says that guy can go back to back at the Masters, and I absolutely love to see it. I have so many people that I've picked to win this weekend. It's so hard to tell. This field's really, really, really good, and it's going to be really exciting to watch. I think it's a longer shot for him to go back to back, but I think it's 100% doable for him.
Yeah, I can see him going back to back, but I don't want him to. That's the thing.
Oh, why not? Ooh.
Well, because I had my picks kind of for the Masters,
Hmm.
or just for the majors championships from the beginning of the year, and I don't want to like kind of jump on his bandwagon and be like, oh
Hmm.
yeah, I'm picking him now. So I'm trying to stay
Hmm.
true to my word and my opinion from before. Um,
Yeah.
so that's kind of why, but it's like I know he can do it. I just would rather other people win. I
Yeah.
feel like
I
there's
just I can never help but root for the guy.
yeah.
He's in my top three favorite golfers ever, hands down. Yeah, I think I want him to do it,
Yeah,
but
I feel like Rory deserves one because he needs his Grand
100%,
Slam.
100%.
JT deserves a major that is not the PGA Championship.
Yeah.
Jordan Spieth deserves another major. Uh, I would say, would it happen this year? Not sure. I feel like he will be in the hunt, but I don't know if he can take it. Rom deserves another major.
Yeah.
So like, there's a lot of people who deserve more majors and who's been playing really well. Another one's Zalatoris. Zalatoris deserves to win another event. Don't know if it's going to
Oh,
happen at a major,
yeah. I
but
don't think he's gonna win this weekend. I think he's gonna win again this year. I would put money on him to win again this year, but I don't think he's gonna win a major. I think he's too young. I don't think he's got. I don't think he's got. He hasn't got that quite in him yet.
yeah,
And
the other person that's young who I think deserves another major is Matt Fitzpatrick. Um,
the work that guy puts in, he deserves another major. But I also don't think it's gonna happen for him again.
I don't think it's going to happen at Augusta. I could see at Royal Liverpool this summer at the Open, but not at the majors. So like that's
Hmm.
why I'm feeling like I feel like Scotty, if he wants a major this year, he's got to go for the PGA or the U.S. Open because
Yeah, because
someone
you
else
don't
needs
want
a
to
green
you
jacket.
get out of that Masters.
Um, Next thing, Roy put a new putter in the bag, specifically for Augusta. Did you see that?
I did. I did. I think he could. I watched him very closely at the Players. Um, I watched he was one of the featured groups, and I had him on the TV at work during lunch breaks and stuff. And he was hitting the ball all right, but I think a new putter is a good choice for him. He couldn't put anything in the cup.
Yeah. So he,
I don't know if it's gonna make him. I don't know if it's gonna get him to the finish line this weekend. But I think he putting is definitely a good area of focus for him.
yes, definitely. I again, Rory was my original pick for the beginning of the year to win the
Hmm.
Masters. Um, Again, I don't think a putter's going to change it. He's a tailor-made guy. Now he's got Vokey wedges and a Scotty Cameron in his bag. He's just coming over to the dark side.
Oh, uh-oh.
Um, so I'm just waiting for that announcement from Titleist to say that yeah, Rory's part of us now.
That would be massive.
Yes,
That'd be so big.
like I feel Rory is the type of guy who might go the Brooks Koepka route and be like independent once his TaylorMade contract is up because he's not getting along with the new stealth and his
No,
contract
not many
tell
of the pros are.
yeah and his contract says that he has to play it.
Mhm.
So that's where it comes into an issue with like when when Morikawa won the Open, he wasn't playing the Sim 2 in his driver. He was playing in his 3 wood. So all the posts were talking about him using his 3 wood and not his driver.
Mhm. Mhm.
So
Um, Roy McIlroy's tailor-made contract is 100 million, I think, and I'm trying to find out where he signed it, but I don't know. Do you think he's a guy to follow the money or follow the game? Like, do what's best for him or do what's best for the money?
oh, he's gonna do what's best for him. Like he's got his Nike
Hmm.
contract. He's got his other sponsorships that are on his bag and stuff. He doesn't need
Yeah.
that money. Um, realistically, if he really wanted to, he could like pay Trotty, who's the club fitter for TaylorMade, to leave TaylorMade and just be his personal club fitter.
I don't think that would happen,
Uh,
but
I don't
uh,
think it will happen, but I don't see Rory being like signed to a company if like for any dollar amount. Like I don't think
yes,
Strixon could throw $1 billion at Rory and Rory would take it.
yeah, yeah. I also agree. It would have to be like he's got 622 million. He's worth $622 million. The money's not that big of a deal for him. It's nice, and I bet it helps the decision. But he's definitely going for what clubs are best. Um, yeah, it's tough. It's a tough
Yeah,
call.
so like when we talk about like what's best for him, like when he went from Titleist to Nike, he was like he's was the next golden boy. He was supposed to replace Tiger. And
Hmm.
then both him and Tiger signed with TaylorMade, which I will give TaylorMade the benefit of the doubt and say they're probably one of the best on the market for drivers. Um,
Hmm.
that this is like pre-Titleist TS line, so even Spieth and Thomas were talking about before the TS line, where they ended up saying like there's people driving the ball past him, and the majority of them were playing TaylorMade stuff. So that's where it
Hmm.
comes down to. It was probably that's why Rory went there in the first place, was because their stuff was more promising. A set of irons, a set of wedges, and a putter. There you can get basically whatever you want from any brand, and they have the option for you. You want blades, you got blades. You want raw wedges, you got raw wedges. You want a blade putter, you got a blade putter. Like it's where you
Yeah.
come down to the woods is where it separates companies. So I think that's why he ended up going with TaylorMade. And I also think that's why TaylorMade doesn't care that he's using Vokies and a Scotty.
Yeah. There's definitely their stealth line of products is their big. Like they really don't market their irons all that much. I've 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 seen Titleist irons marketed. I've seen Cobra irons marketed. I don't think I've ever seen, maybe once or twice, a TaylorMade uh, commercial for their irons. So I think all they really care about is him playing that driver, and he's not really playing that driver anymore. So
Yeah.
it comes down to, are both parties going to want to continue the contract?
Yeah. And I would think TaylorMade would want the contract because of the fact that he's like one of the best players in the world. He's what, number 3 right now.
Yeah.
So you're looking at that as a TaylorMade perspective. You just signed like Grant and Micah for your social media stuff. Now you need the best player in the
Yes.
world.
Yeah.
Um, so like, I think when it comes down time to it, they don't really care what Rory does because Rory is still wearing or having the TaylorMade bag and stuff like that, and
Hmm.
being in all their marketing stuff. Like,
Rory's second right now on the OWGR. He's
he
two.
is.
Yep.
Oh, it's probably because did Rom not have a good week at the match play?
I don't think so. I think he might have been out pretty early. At the match play, he finished T31.
And then Rory probably was placed better, so he got more points.
Roy would have finished. Did Rory beat Scotty?
I thought Scotty lost to. Didn't he lose to?
Yeah, Scotty lost. Scotty lost to oh,
Did
fuck, what's his
did he
name?
lose to Corey Connors?
No, that wasn't Connors. But he did lose to.
Or what? No, did he
Oh,
lose to Mac?
yes.
I think he lost to a Canadian.
Mm-mm. Because Scotty and Rory were playing in the consolation round, and Sam Burns and who was he playing with? Was it Cam Young?
Maybe.
Sam Burns and Cam Young. Yeah, Cam Young beat Scotty. Sam Burns beat Rory, which was awful because that would have been a phenomenal final pair. And I don't know, I can't remember if Rory beat Scotty for that consolation, which would have put him either third or fourth. But
Yeah,
he
but
definitely did place much higher than Rom.
yes.
So that's what probably what vaulted in my head.
Okay, so how do you think the live guys are gonna do? So you're looking
I,
at Abraham Answer, Bryson DeChambeau, Sergio Garcia, Taylor Gooch, Dustin Johnson, Brooks Koepka, Jason Kokrak,
yeah.
Phil Mickelson, Kevin Na, Jaquim Neiman, Louis Oosthuizen, Patrick Reed, Charles Schwartzel,
my
Cam
my
Smith.
favorite thing is Louis used to losing.
It's Oosthuizen.
Yeah, but everyone calls him used to losing because he finished second forever.
Oh yeah, it was
Near
like the Open, the PGA, and the Masters. He was like second that one
Louis
year.
used to losing. Um, he did he? No, he didn't. He got an albatross at the Masters. I don't. Did he win? I don't think so.
No. The only
Um,
ones who have won the Masters: Dustin Johnson, Phil Mickelson, Patrick Reed, Bubba Watson. Oh,
yeah,
and Sergio.
yes, I remember. I remember when Sergio won.
Yeah, so
I
those are
don't.
the
I
only
think the
five
live
guys.
guys aren't. They. I don't think they. I haven't heard enough conversation about this. They're not used to playing 72 holes tournament play anymore.
No, and they
A
also
couple of
don't
them,
have to worry about making a cut to make money anymore. So
yeah.
there's added
I
pressure
think
there.
there's a lot more. I don't think. I think a couple of like Brooks might do all right. Dustin Johnson might do all right. Cam Smith is probably going to be the villain of the weekend.
Yeah.
Um, but I think the other guys, like, didn't Bryson? Isn't Bryson just having an awful time over there? I haven't heard anything about anybody winning or placing high. Like, none of their big names are doing well. I don't think it's going to go well. What I'm really excited to see for them is what they're going to wear because a lot of their guys have been being dropped or left or however you want to say it. They're clothing sponsors. So and that's moving towards they want to be wearing their uniforms more in their tournaments, but it also states in their contracts somewhere along the lines of they have to wear the uniform in all golf tournaments. So are we going to see a bunch of guys out on Augusta in matching golf outfits, but all scattered throughout the course because they're all playing? Not none of them are in the same grouping.
Yeah.
That's going to look silly.
Yeah.
That's going to look hilarious.
They were
And
wearing it today for the par three contest.
were they? I
Yeah.
didn't see. I haven't had much time to look at the par three contest because I've been at work all day. Oh, that's so awesome. I didn't know that. That news to me makes me so happy because that for them has to be a little bit embarrassing. Do you not
Like,
agree?
yeah, oh yeah. Like they have no sponsors on their stuff, nothing.
No.
Like
Oh,
I would feel awkward being at a PGA Tour event playing in it if I just had a normal Titleist hat and a shirt with no sponsors and stuff
yeah.
like that, and like a normal like stand bag type thing, than worried about being in a uniform and having this. Like I would feel awkward not having a sponsor around me
You're
if
in
it's there.
a matching outfit with someone you're not even nearby with.
Oh yeah,
Like
there's
that's the worst part.
I would I find like the whole like team aspect of the live golf stuff insanely stupid because of the fact that the
Mhm.
names are stupid.
The names are awful. The marketing, like I love team golf. I'm actually wearing a Ryder Cup shirt right now from when the U.S. It's from Barstool. I don't know if we're cross promoting here, but from when the U.S. beat uh, Europe, like was it 19 something, something stupid, some dumb score called "Slaughter by the Water." Like absolutely love team golf, but they're doing it so poorly.
Yeah, like if you're gonna do a team golf, you got to do like a match play. You got to do
Yeah,
like head to head, like you know, best ball,
get your
which
match
is
play, alternate shot, scram. Like you got to have
you got to have like
actual
variety.
event. You can't just have a bunch of guys go out there, play it, stroke play, and then be like, okay, this is how they play. This like it's like it's supposed to be the main show, but it feels like such a side show, which is why it's not doing well.
It's like kind of like trying to watch college golf
Yes,
because
yes,
the college golf team setup is set up the same way where they have an individual leader and then the team scores. But that makes sense because they're majority of the time they're not playing for a team. They're playing for
Hmm.
themselves. Like you look at Rose, she's the number one amateur in the world for a reason. It's because she's that damn good. But
Hmm.
the girl who's last place on her team is getting carried by her. So like
Hmm.
that's why they separate it from there. Like I believe Bryson talked about on his YouTube channel that they won. I have no clue if they won, but apparently he played like trash and he's not with Cobra anymore. So he's been messing around with a ping and a stealth and all that
Yeah, I
fun
saw him
stuff.
with TaylorMade in his bag, and I was like, ah,
Yeah,
what are you doing?
but Brooks Koepka won their last tournament, so he's hot.
That's the
Um,
only reason why I think he might be an issue is because he's feeling good about himself. Because if you watched Full Swing, you know how much of a mental golfer he is. But I just don't think that I don't think they can go 72 holes anymore.
I think personally, I think Kepka doesn't want to be there anymore. I think he wants to come back to the PGA
Hmm.
Tour. But he's got his brother over there, so playing golf with his brother or playing on the PGA Tour is probably his decision right now.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So the next point I said I have written out here is the amateurs in it. So we have one, two, three, four, five, six, seven amateurs. Um, we got the NCAA individual champ who also won the amateur championship of the year, which is the basically instead of the U.S. amateur, it's like the England amateur. We got another one there who won the U.S. Mid Am. He's from like I believe Northern Ireland. We got the Pacific Am, the runner up at the USAM, and then the winner of the USAM, the winner of the Latin American Am. He's a Garson boy, so I'll be cheering for him.
Mhm.
And then our Canadians in the field this week: Corey Connors, Mackenzie Hughes, Mike Weir, my favorite golfer of all
I'm
time.
actually I'm actually in Sarnia right now where Mike Weir grew up.
Yeah, I played his home course a week after he was there. Mike Weir is my
That's pretty
hero.
cool.
So speaking of Canadians, Corey Connors won last week.
Love him.
What's
Hmm.
your opinion on him at Augusta this week?
I always get my hopes up for the Canadians at Augusta, but I, they I've just never. How did he do last year? I can't remember off the top of my head how everybody did last year, but I don't remember it being well.
I no, I
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
Canadians
think.
and Augusta don't really normally go too well unless your name's Mike Weir. And again, it only
Yeah,
went well once.
yeah. That's the ugly truth.
Yeah, and like I mean,
But
I would say that obviously we talked about it before. Augusta being suited for lefties, Mike Weir's a lefty, so
hmm.
like that's also another factor when it comes into I guess getting lucky because realistically, Mike Weir, a phenomenal golfer, the he's nowhere comparable to your Tigers, your Phil Mickelson, even JT, stuff like that. Like
Hmm.
he just doesn't have that star power to his name that everyone else does.
No. So you might have saw my face just go, huh? Uh, I'm on the Masters website right now. I don't know if you know about this, if they have this or not. They have projected scores of the players from the IBM Watson, and Corey Connors right now is projected to shoot a 76 with 72% confidence from the AI.
Really?
So yeah, he's projected to go. This is projected. This is I don't even know how they would calculate this, but he's projected to go par, par, birdie, bogey, par, birdie, bogey, par, bogey, par, 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 bogey, double, par, bogey, bogey, to finish with a 76 on the first day, which is, if that's even remotely correct, they say a high of 77, a low of 69. He's not going to be able to get it done.
No. I also feel that the another reason why he won't win this week is because he won last week.
Hmm.
Because you can kind of tell, obviously, all the pros are trying to like peak right now. They want their best game for this week. So
He
the
did have a good year last year. He finished T6. We stand corrected.
yeah, um, I think he was further back going into Sunday, and then people fell off on Sunday. I think that was the
Hmm.
other thing. But you look at it in the sense of they try to peak for this point in time, and he peaked last week. That's
Yes.
how I'm looking at it right now.
So I'm changing my perspective on how he's going to do. I don't think he's going to win. I'm now looking at his history and everything. I think he's going to do all right. I think he's going to make us proud.
Yeah.
Complete changeup. His 2019, he finished T46 with a total of 288 strokes. In But in 2020, 2021, and 2022, he finished T10, T8, and T6. So he's been getting better at playing Augusta. Last year he had the round 170, round 273, round 372, round 470 with pretty solid scores. I think he could sit himself in the top 20 quite comfortably this week.
Yeah, and I believe it's his sixth year at Augusta.
Yeah.
I heard I was watching the coverage of when they were on the driving range on Monday, and they were saying that the average time it takes for a player to play in the Masters and win at Augusta is 6 years.
Well.
So this would be his year, but you also got Tony Finau who can win any week on the tour. He's
Hmm.
he's like I don't know how Finau hasn't won more tournaments. Like that's like
Hmm.
if you watch any of the Canadian Open last year where he was going back and forth with Rory for on Sunday, like again, to even be remotely close to Rory on a Sunday is insane.
Yeah, but I agree with you. He did peak last week. I don't think he's gonna be able to get it done. But I think a top 20 is definitely well within reach for that
Yeah,
guy.
I feel like even for Mackenzie Hughes too, like top 20 is in reach.
Hmm. Oh yeah. Let's see. Let's look up his history of the Masters. I just checked. His best Masters finish was 2021, a T40. Uh, this will be his third Masters, if I'm reading this right. His second cut. He's only made two cuts. Sorry. Um, yeah, T50 last year, T40 the year before that. I don't know. I don't know enough about Mackenzie Hughes' game, unfortunately, to comment on why that would be or if he's going to be able to pull it together this week. But it doesn't look good.
Yeah.
What are your picks this weekend?
Okay, so how the picks are gonna work is we're gonna choose three golfers, and
Hmm.
then we're gonna basically tally up their scores under par, and whoever wins that week.
Okay, I
Um,
like that.
so we're basically gonna pick like a dark horse, so like someone who has an opportunity to win but isn't like everyone's first option. So
Yeah,
you're gonna be looking at those in probably like outside the top 10 players in the world roughly. And then you're gonna
yeah,
have your surefire picks, which is someone basically in the top 10. Your Rorys, your um, Scotties, your Roms, stuff like
yeah.
that. And then just kind of a random pick who's like for sure outside the top 10.
Okay. I think I'm good to go for. I got all my picks pretty well lined up.
Yes. So I have. All right, so we're gonna do it. Are we gonna do a draft format where it's like pick
Yeah.
one?
Well, you pick one. I'll pick someone else. You pick your dark horse.
Tony Finau.
Okay. Number 13 on the world golf rankings.
Yeah. So he's outside there. He's always has a chance to win. He's a Garson Golf man, and if you follow my Instagram, or anything, I rep the Garson brand properly.
Hmm. His best Masters finish 2019 T5, the year that he was in the group. Was he in the group with Tiger?
Yes, he
He's got a
was.
pretty good track record. T10, T5, T38, T10, T35. He's yeah, that's a good pick. That's a good dark horse pick. My dark horse pick this year is gonna be Cameron Young.
Cam Young. Okay.
Cameron Young. I was watching him play the match play, and just he looked so comfortable over that golf ball. I had to think to myself, like, how is this guy not going to do well next in 2 weeks? He's
Because Tony
because
Finau is gonna run away with it.
okay, yeah, he's projected 71 first round. He's history. His best match finish last year. He missed the cut, but he's kind of come. I don't know. He's come out of nowhere this year. He's made a name for himself. He's a new big name. I remember they were talking last year. On a couple of broadcasts, they were talking about how he's one of those names that's you're going to be hearing a lot of in the coming years. And lo and behold, next year we're hearing a lot of his name. So I think he's going to do pretty good.
Yeah, Cam Young's a good shout. He's one of those guys
Hmm.
who just has like limitless speed. Like
Hmm.
he's he'll be able to dominate the course if he's given the ability to.
Yes. Yeah. All right. What is your uh, what's the next category we had again? What's it called?
There's like random outside the top 10, and there's the surefire pick. So the surefire pick is basically someone in the top 10.
Okay, I got my surefire pick lined up. If you want to go first.
Okay. I'm gonna stick with what I said at the beginning of the year. I think Rory's gonna win the Masters this
You
year.
think Rory's going to win it this year?
Rory
I really
deserves
hope
it.
he does.
I
He
hope
does
he
deserve it really
does.
bad, but I don't think it's going to happen. As much as I love Rory, one of my favorite golfers, I don't think it's going to happen with him.
I'm
He's
very skeptical because of all his issues right now with his driver and stuff like that. But
yeah.
I said it. I said after the Tournament of Champions when Rahm won at the beginning of the year that Rory is going to win the Masters, and I'm sticking to it.
Okay. All right. I do like that pick. That's a pretty good pick. My surefire win pick, Max Homa.
Oh, Max Homa.
What's he on the world golf ranking right now? He's number 5. So he's 3 spots back from Rory, obviously. He's in my notes here. I've written the side. It says Max has that dog in him.
He
when
does.
when I at the time of writing it, he was third ranked, and so that was really in my head. Like, he's third ranked. He's still a young guy. He's the people's golfer, in my opinion. He's all over Twitter, all over social media, writing swings and everything. And he's a really good closer of golf tournaments. Like, he can finish a tournament well. I know this year when he played the Genesis, he had a run at the win in front of his home crowd, but Rahm ended up running away with it. And Dan Rappaport asked the question, "Are you more proud of the fight or disappointed with the loss?" And it brought him to tears. That's how much he cares about winning here. I think he's gonna have a week.
Yeah.
I don't have him to win. I don't think he's got it in him to win because he doesn't really have the greatest history at the Masters, if I recall from my research. But I don't know, he's just been playing so good, looking fantastic. His best finish is T48, um, which is last year. He's missed the cut the 2 previous years he's played. I don't know. It's just I got a feeling that Max is going to do good this year. I have in brackets might take him to win.
I I can see 100% Max winning. Max is
Hmm.
definitely one of those guys who, like you said, has the dog in him. He
Has
is
that dog in him?
Um, I have him starred on my master's website to follow along with his rounds.
Hmm.
Um, he's he's gone he's gone back and forth with Rom a bit this year in those like final groups.
Yeah.
Um, so the next thing is the random pick, which is outside the top 10. So I just want to make sure my pick is outside the top 10.
My pick is way far outside the top 10. Like my pick is way far outside the top 10, but I don't know. I got a good feeling on him.
I mean, he's got to be in the top 50 if he's at the Masters.
Just going back on the Max Homa while you're looking at that. Max has played 10 events, 2 wins, 2023 season. What? Is that right?
By the way, John Rahm, or not John
Yeah.
Rahm, sorry, Jordan Spieth is 16th in the world right now. He's outside the top 10.
What? He's outside the top 10?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if you can pick him.
Justin Thomas.
That's
Justin Thomas is 10th in the world right now. Victor
okay.
Hovland is
My
ninth.
Once you hear my underdog, then okay, pick your underdog, and I'll say my underdog. I believe in my guy.
I'm going with Tom Kim.
Tom Kim. I love Tom Kim. That's a really good pick.
I loved
That's a
him at
really
the
good pick.
President's Cup last year.
Oh, he was so good,
Oh,
so into it. He loved it.
fire me up some.
Yeah, he pumping up the crowd and stuff. Was it this year the Waste Management that before his tee shot he pumped up the crowd, or was
Oh
it the
yeah,
putt?
yeah, that was him. He loves the noise. He loves the atmosphere. I feel
Yeah.
like he would be the guy coming down like 18 on Sunday and everyone's cheering for him and he's just trying to like bug him
Hmm.
to make him go louder.
Yeah. This is his first Masters. Am I correct with that?
I believe so because
Yeah.
he,
He's only 20 years old.
yeah.
That's I hate thinking about that. He's younger than me.
Oh, yeah. He's
He's born in 2002.
yeah.
So, my underdog gonna be another first year player, another player that's on the up and come. He's a young guy. He he's making a bit of a name for himself. Had a run at last year's Waste Management. Sahith Theegala
Oh,
or Sahith. I don't want to pronounce his name wrong, but I don't know, man. Sahith. I think it's Sahith Theegala. I got a couple connections with him. He played at Pepperdine. My sister went to Pepperdine. They were actually there at the same time. He played really good in the tournaments last year. This year he's T14 at the Arnold Palmer, T6 at the Genesis, T4 at the Farmers Insurance. He was in the running at the Waste Management last year. He's gonna have a good year this year.
is it crazy that his first year on the PGA Tour was last year?
It is because I feel like he's been around for a bit longer, does it not?
I don't think it's because seems like he's been around for that long. It feels like he's just that good at like without being on tour for that long.
Yes. Turned pro in 2020.
Yeah.
On the tour last year. I'm looking at his projection from that IBM Watson. I'm starting to not believe it anymore. They're projecting him to shoot a 78, potentially they say 81 high, 65 low. I don't know.
That's a big window.
Watson, what are you doing? I don't know. I think they don't have enough data on this guy.
Probably not. Like
But
I could see him
yeah,
winning a major sometime in the near future. I
I could
also
see him
can
winning
see
a major for sure.
I also can see um one of his Corn Ferry Tour like recent promotees what's his name? The lefty.
Like it's not coming to me right now.
Once I'm looking it up right now.
Okay. Yeah, I'm taking side. So I have my picks are Cameron Young, Max Homa, and Sahith are in my grouping to beat your grouping. Do you have a pick other than Rory that you think is going to win this year?
Like we talked about a little bit. Spieth, I think he can win.
I have him to
From
win as well.
I also think that Thomas can win. Same like I know that Scotty Scheffler can win. It's just I don't want him to win. Um,
Hmm.
in about 2 years' time, the winner at the Masters will be Akshay Bhatia.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yes, yes. I like that guy.
Oh, when he got promoted to the PGA Tour, and I saw it, I like saw it on my Instagram feed. I saw it. Looked at it, and I was following his girlfriend, but not him. So I don't know what that says about me.
Hey.
But yeah, so Akshay being a lefty, he's gonna
Yep.
dominate Augusta as soon as he's in the top 50 in the world, which will
Hmm.
be in the next year. Um,
Yes.
so
Yeah. All right. Final segment here. Masters trivia questions for you.
are we gonna do the Masters dinner?
Oh, Masters dinner. Yes, proud of that. And then we'll get on the Masters trivia questions. My Masters dinner.
Okay, so Masters dinner. If we were able to win a green jacket, what is your appetizer?
Oh, I'm gonna have to go with. This is gonna sound really. I'm gonna have to go with like. I love pub food, so it's gonna be like deep fried pickle spears
Oh, do
and
you
a
have a
good
second?
like. My second would be something other along the same lines, like maybe some mozzarella sticks or
Okay.
like some nachos, something like. But could you? It sounds all right, just like oh yeah, deep fried pickle spears. But like, could you imagine the chefs at Augusta cooking up some deep fried pickle spears?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
that would be amazing. So my
yeah.
two appetizers, because the reason why I chose two is because Scotty has two appetizers on his menu.
Mhm.
Um, Coconut shrimp with sweet Thai chili sauce, and then spin dip because I love me a good spin dip.
Yeah, yeah. That's a good one.
Yes.
So
So then the next option is your starter. What are we?
for my starter, we're doing a good Caesar
A Caesar.
Caesar salad.
Okay. Nice
This
Caesar
is
salad.
my food has no like theme to it. I just picked what my favorite food would be from each category that I would pick. A good Caesar salad
I
would be a
pretty
good
much
starter.
kind of did the same because my starter is the chicken and gnocchi soup, the one that
Oh,
like from Olive Garden.
yeah,
It's
yeah, that's
it's the
nice.
best soup.
I like that. Yeah,
Um,
that's good.
yeah. So then your main.
We're getting my mom in the kitchen when it
Okay.
comes time to the main. My mom's hopping in the kitchen at Augusta. She's making lasagna.
Oh, I had lasagna like Monday night. It was
Yeah,
banging.
my mom's lasagna is she's getting in there, and Fred Couples is just gonna devour the hell out of that thing. I know
Uh, I
it.
remember in like Adam Major, we had like little player profiles on our website for our hockey team,
Hmm.
and they asked our favorite food, and mine was lasagna. So
Yeah.
that was it. But I didn't pick lasagna for my main. I went with a nice um, wagyu steak with
Oh
asparagus
yeah.
and potatoes.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. That's a good. That's a good choice.
Yeah, so some grilled asparagus, some grilled potatoes, maybe throw some like onions in
Oh,
there
I'm so hungry
too,
now.
mix it up, you know, really
Mm,
good.
yum. Yum.
Obviously, I don't know what wine I would pair with that. I would just have
I
the
don't
chefs
drink
at
wine.
Augusta just be like, give me the best wine for this.
We're having Bud Lights and craft beers and whiskey and cokes. That's what it's being paired with.
I mean, I wouldn't have it any other way, would I?
Yeah. No, there's no. You can't pick. I'm not. I don't drink wine, but you give me a nice Crown and Coke, or like A good craft beer.
Some of
That's
that
where it's at.
Kingsville
All right.
Brewery stuff.
Some of that Kingsville Brewery stuff, some of that local stuff, the Grove. Ooh, ow. I just kicked my table.
Well, what are we doing for dessert?
I'm going with Scotty. I gotta. I know this is a not exciting pick because it's this year's dessert. I'm going with that cookie skillet. A nice warm chocolate chip cookie with a big old of vanilla ice cream in the middle with a caramel glaze. That's it's what more could you ask for a dessert? You got your sweet, you got your salty and the caramel, and then you got your savory in the cookie. It's everything.
What
So,
more can you ask for? Augusta National is in Georgia, correct?
yep. Oh, I have a feeling I know where you're going with this.
I'm
All right.
going with a peach cobbler
Oh, yeah. That's
with
exactly
some
where I knew
French
you were going
vanilla
with that.
ice cream on top.
Oh, yeah. That's a
Nice
good
warm
choice.
peach cobbler, especially fresh peaches from Georgia.
Fresh peaches picked from the grounds of Augusta.
Oh,
Because I
like
guarantee you'd have a couple peach trees up there.
they have to. It's Georgia.
Yeah, 100%. Man, those are some two really good meals.
Yeah. Now I need to win a green jacket just so I
Yeah,
can make sure that Augusta serves me the best Wagyu steak I could ever have in my life.
100%. 100%. It's got to happen.
Okay.
Yes, the rollback.
RNA a rollback.
I'm gonna say right off the bat, I think it's dumb.
I think it's dumb too. I posted a video on my YouTube channel talking about it, and I kind of said the same things over and over again. This
Hmm.
golf ball right here is mine with my own markings, and then I had another golf ball somewhere that had the tour markings on it from the tour truck. The exact same golf ball.
Yeah,
That's what it is. Um, like JT said, I don't think anyone's going into the clubhouse after a round being like, "Man, I hit the ball too far today."
yeah. No one's
Like,
ever, no one's ever said that like legitimately ever.
no. Like
Like that is never
how
a bad thing to complain about hitting the ball too far. Yeah, I get we're losing the workability and the art and the artistry of golf, but sports evolve to like if people saw like in basketball, if you watch the old footage of people playing basketball and they can barely make a layup and they're shooting on with granny style and it just looks awful. It looks so boring to watch. If people saw that sport start to evolve into what it's the exciting game that it is now and said, hold on, Will, this ball might be bouncing a bit too much. I think we should deflate it. And these rims are too low. We're going to need to raise them so people can't dunk as much. Nobody would watch. It would be unbelievably boring. The viewers like you and I who adore the sport of golf, yes, watching someone work the ball is super cool. Watching people work shots and hit shots, which still does happen, just a little less, is super cool to watch. But the average Joe isn't tuning in to watch some guy curve a ball around a corner. They're tuning in to watch Rory McIlroy bomb a 350-yard drive right down the center of the fairway because he can. And then they can also go out and buy that exact same equipment that he just used and try and do it themselves. Like
yeah.
I,
So about the whole shot shaping thing, it's the mentality around golf has changed about the shot shaping.
mm-hmm,
Like now you don't need to hit a draw. You don't need to know how to hit a fade. Like Tiger talks about his windows where he's got his like tic tac toe board, hit a high draw, hit a high fade, hit a high straight one, low, 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 and then normal. Like you don't have to do that anymore. They're like literally Decade Golf tells you to play for your dispersion pattern. So for example, my dispersion pattern off the tee is a block to the left and it's about 35 yards, and then if I hit a draw or a straighter one, it doesn't come back across the target line. So my shot window is probably 35 yards wide on the left side of the target.
mm-hmm,
So when I'm aiming at a pin or if I'm aiming off the tee, I'm going to move more to the right because the left side of my target is where I'm hitting the ball. It's the same thing as like DJ saying I take the whole. DJ is a fader, so he'll fade the ball to the right. He takes left at a play. So
Hmm.
that shot shaping is the mentality has changed from being able to you need to be able to hit both shots to be really good at hitting one.
Yes.
So that has nothing to do with them hitting the ball further. It has everything to do with the mentality of the game evolving, which is the same thing with, hey, I'm going to take driver here, pummel it as far as I can. So now I just have a wedge in my hand instead of, hey, I'm going to lay up with a 3-wood and put it in the middle of the fairway. It's just
Yeah.
the game is evolving. So the distance, yes, distance is increasing. Not to mention, they said they want to test the balls at 127 miles an hour club head speed.
Hmm.
The PGA Tour average is at like 14, 114.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's just gonna keep. Rory's still gonna hit the ball the 320 max.
Hmm.
Then you got your shorter guys who are gonna be hitting it 260, 250 off the tee. That's
Yeah.
who's gonna hinder is the shorter guys off the tee.
Yeah. The people who need the length off the tee is the only people it's going to affect.
Yeah, and just imagine losing 20 yards on every one of your clubs.
That's insane. To It just doesn't make any sense to me to change the sport that drastically because a couple old guys want some courses back in the rotation that aren't in the rotation anymore.
And it's not necessarily the courses. Like you can go to some of the old courses and have them shorter. You just roll the greens more, have them rolling faster, thicken the rough. Like where the Memorial is held back in like the COVID-19 where they played them like back to back. Week 1, the scoring average was a lot lower than week 2 because week 2 they let the rough grow, they didn't cut the rough and it was faster. So
Hmm.
it you have the ability to make the golf courses harder, but they don't do it because they want scoring, but they don't want them to hit the ball as far.
Yeah, it's a whole yeah, it's very annoying.
It's
I, it's not going to be good for growing the game. It'll
no,
be good for
and
the people that are already involved in the game as viewers, as in like it'll be cool to watch them have to hit those shots again or have to play the courses a bit differently. Like there'd be a little bit more strategy involved, but it's not gonna help like someone who's looking to get into golf, seeing these professional players only bombing it 250 down the middle when the balls that they use, they can hit it 250 down the middle.
yeah,
So like, why not? It's just going to be a very confusing for a new player.
especially when it comes down to the fact of what is considered elite because it's
Yeah,
for elite competition. So, like, does that mean your club championship would be an elite tournament, or would it be like, or is it the Canadian Am, or so like the Ontario Am isn't, but Canadian Am isn't is
yeah,
like that's where it comes into a factor where it's like, well, if it's the USGA and RNA, obviously the US Am would push it, and then would the Michigan Am push it?
hmm,
Michigan Am is under Michigan Golf Association. It's not under like it's under USGA, but they Michigan Golf Association runs it. So does that mean they're going to have different things? And it's so confusing with how they want to do it. I don't like the idea. I think maybe if they wanted to do something, maybe it turns out that they end up doing, like I said, make the courses harder,
hmm,
maybe find some land in some places to build specific course venues for it, or just have weeks where they play on some other venues that are a lot shorter and just have them go out and dominate the course because that would be
yeah.
so
Have them
cool to
shoot
watch.
low. It'd be fun to watch some guys shoot like 25 under on the weekend.
Yeah, because it. I never turned on the TV and was like, I want to watch Tiger Woods shoot 5 over par.
Yeah, I've never been like, oh, he's so low under par. Why am I even watching this? Like,
Yeah.
I've never said that ever. It just doesn't make any sense.
Like if me and Rom would play a match together, he would at least be giving me 12 strokes.
Hmm.
So like
Yeah,
he
I
should
don't
be
know.
like 12 under par. The courses they play are not comparable to the courses we play. So
No,
like the fact that they can do what they're doing with the balls that they have now, you're just going to turn them into more like us.
yeah, I mean that's not what they've worked hard to. It's just,
It's I
yeah,
think it's stupid.
I also think it's stupid. Okay,
Are
are we
you
ready
ready
for
for
these
your
trivia
Masters
questions?
trivia?
I'm gonna pick. I've been reading a couple as we've been going. A couple of them are pretty hard. So I'm gonna pick some of the easier ones. I'm gonna throw you a softball right off the bat. Who's the youngest Masters champion?
Tiger,
Is it
right?
A? Okay, yeah. I was gonna say A. Jordan
Okay.
Spieth, B. Seve Ballesteros, or C. Tiger Woods.
Oh, they're
Tiger
multiple
all day.
choice.
Yeah, they can, if you there are multiple choice if you don't have an immediate answer.
Okay.
Okay. Only player to complete that can't be right. Only player to complete the career Grand Slam of the modern majors.
Like so I'm is are we talking like Tiger again?
So they got Tiger Woods, Gene Sarazen, or Gary Player.
So the modern majors are the like PGA Championship, the Open, the Masters, and the U.S. Open. So that Tigers
Hmm.
won all of those. I don't know. I don't think. I don't know if Gary Player has won all of those, but I know Tigers have won all those for sure.
Yes. Yeah, obviously. Who was the last wire to wire Masters champion?
Wire to wire.
Yeah, so he's led the entire time from like end of round one. He just dominated the whole Masters.
Are we talking Tiger again?
No, he's not in this list.
Who? What's the
So we
multiple
have
choice?
Patrick Reed, Jordan Spieth, or Bubba Watson.
I know Baba. His 1 year was a comeback because he had that amazing shot out of the thing, out of the trees. I don't want it to be
Hmm.
Reed because Reed just sucks.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna go with Spieth.
Spieth is the right answer.
Sweet.
Who was the only player to lose in a playoff twice? So we have Greg Norman, Chris DeMarco, or Ben Hogan.
Greg Norman has not won a Masters.
No,
So I'm gonna go with Greg Norman.
Ben Hogan
Ben
is the
Hogan?
only person to. Hey, he lost in two playoffs.
This is my
Okay,
first
and
strike.
I'm gonna finish you off with the fifth question. Who has won the Masters the most times?
Okay, Tiger has what? Was it 97, 99, 01, then like 13 and 19? So he's got five.
Hmm.
And then Nicholas, I believe, has three.
I'm not gonna give anything out.
So Tiger?
Mm-mm.
So Nicholas
Nicholas has
has
six.
six. Okay, I know Nicholas had three for sure because I was watching a
Yeah.
video and he was talking about his three wins, but then he didn't talk about his other three wins. So I'm
I'm gonna look up, see if I can find. I can't find any. Oh, whatever. I was gonna find more stats on Jack Nicklaus and the Masters, but yeah, those are the five trivia questions I've got going for you. I had some more, but they're like most runner-up finishes without winning. Greg Norman, Ken Venturi, Tom Weisskopf.
um
It's a hard one.
Norman.
Tom.
Oh
A lot of the ones with a lot of the ones I found, they didn't have like very well-known players,
yeah.
so I use the ones with the most well-known players. Well, is that it? Is that all we got for this week?
So thank you guys for listening. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you're on YouTube. Follow us on any podcast platforms. As of right now, while we're recording this, I don't know what ones they're going to be on because it may take a while to get them all over the place. But
Mhm.
we'll slowly get there. Um, this is probably going to go out Thursday of the Masters because I'm just going to stay up late tonight and go through it because it shouldn't take too long.
No.
And then we're probably going to go for another Thursday/Wednesday release date.
Yep.
So see you next week.
See you next week. All right.
There we go. We're done.
That's pretty good.
It's a lot of content there.
That was a lot of content there.
Yeah, so gonna cut it down, and then go from there. Whether or not what's gonna go to a TikTok or an Instagram post, whatnot, and go
Yeah.
from there. Um, you got the um, sheet that has all the like account details, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so you logged in on them and stuff?
No, I haven't yet. I've been meaning to, but I've been pretty busy.
Okay, so then you can end up logging into